Hello, everyone. I'm Lady Calamere. I welcome you to my channel. If you're new, hail and welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much. So I'm doing my 257th presentation. And by the way, it's Hungry Ghost Month. And Hungry Ghost Month from 2024 is August 4th to September 2nd, and the major festival begins. It's going to be August 18th. So, and it's called Zhong Kui. But I'm going to be talking, if I have some time, I'm going to talk about the King Ming Festival, which will be, for 2020, if we already passed it, will be April 4th of 2025. So, and that's a different festival, but it deals with the dead. So anyways, we're talking about Zhong Kui. Zhong Kui, who is he? He's a Chinese. He was a man that became deified. And he actually existed. He actually at one time existed. And he later on becomes deified. And he is the king of the ghosts. And he commands 80,000 demons, and he quells hauntings. During the Chinese Lunar New Year, so their New Year, that some of the Chinese will venerate him, and he becomes a god of Taoism. I hope you can hear me. So he becomes a god of Taoism. Apparently I got Joker here, so I'm going to have to turn off the light. I don't want to get it in his eye. We don't want to affect Joker, right? So I don't want the light shining in him. And this is Zhong Kui. This is a sandalwood carving done by an artist from China. And that's where I had it delivered from. Now this is sandalwood. Now Zhong Kui, so during the Chinese New Year, okay, is that traditionally they would do cleansing, right? And they would have an image of his painting. And now they would have it on the wall facing the door. And the reason why is to discourage evil spirits or ghosts entering the home through the door, to protect you. So the ghosts will not follow you, because he, unlike the other gods, can do the job that some of these gods can't. So anyways, so he was an actual man, and he actually lived. And he was given the title when he died by Yan Wang, who is the god of the underworld. So Yan Wang is the king of the underworld. So let me get this. So let me get my thoughts in order, because I don't use a script or notes. So Zhong Kui was he was a prodigy, okay? He was what we would in this day called gifted. He would be in a magnet class. He was a genius, a child genius. And as he grew up, he learned so many things. And one of the things that he excelled with was book learning. That he was able to read books. his mind was far beyond other kids. But here's the thing. He looked very different. He wasn't very good looking. And he was very different. And his face was square. He had a curly hair that seemed to not be able to be combed right or brushed right. It would be unruly hair. As he grew older, he had a beard that was unruly, and he was seen as a large man, and that he had to deal with a lot of adversities. But here's the thing, he had a heart of gold. He was very intelligent. He had a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. And also he excelled in martial arts. He excelled at learning how to work weapons, how to wield an axe, and how to wield a sword. He had a large vocabulary. He was extremely smart. So, and he becomes he's a popular folk hero since the days of the Tang dynasty, and then by the time the next dynasty is the Song dynasty. And the Song dynasty lasted until 1279 CE or AD. So CE just means common era. I use that because AD is after death, and that's Christian. After the death of Christ. So common era. So Zhong Kui, by that time of the Song dynasty, he gets adopted into the Taoist pantheon of deities, of gods. So Zhong Kui, he is the man, the myth, the legend, and the god. He is popular of course, it begins in China. And he is also venerated in multiple faiths. China, Vietnam, Laos, Taiwan, parts of India, where the Chinese were there, where they brought their deity, Japan. So he is honored today in artwork, and these artwork protects against malignant, negative, evil forces, ghost entities, and demons. So during the Chinese New Year, it's traditional to cleanse your home and have Zhong Kui, and to petition him with incense. So we're in. He does deal with a Hungry Ghost Month. Now the King Ming festival is different. King Ming, which is the tomb sweeping day, is different. And I'll get into that, okay? But let me stay on to, because they all deal with the ancestors and the dead. So during the Hungry Ghost Month, all the underworld is unleashed. So it's believed there was a lot of beliefs, and the communist government is trying to squash it. They're promoting Halloween, they're economically capitalist, but their government is communist. So he had to face a lot of adversities. Zhong Kui was actually born in the Chongnan, Zhongnan Mountains of this is central China. He was never blessed with good looks. As he grew into adulthood, Like, he had a square face, his eyes were bulging out like fish. He had a really large, oversized mouth. He, like I said, he had curly, unruly hair that was hard to brush. Now, he learned a lot. He was brilliant. Now, he wanted to serve his country. He wanted to serve his emperor. So he took a civil service, the Imperial Civil Service exam. He aced it. He got the highest mark that has the highest grade that hasn't been seen in such a long time. I mean, this guy was a prodigy in his life. He scored the highest that anyone has ever taken, and this isn't an easy exam. This was a very difficult exam. Now, he earned the rank of Zhang Huang Zhuang Yuan. Zhuang Yuan. Hope I'm saying that right. I'm trying my best. And that guaranteed him an elite noble position of great respect, great fortune, and a prominent position. Now, due to his unruly hair, his bad looks, and he looked really scary, is that the emperor's ministers conspired against him. And they said that he would bring shame to the emperor. He would bring shame to the empire. He would bring shame to the rank of Zhuang Yuan, the title. So the ministers took a vote among themselves and decided to take the title of Zhuang Yuan of Zhong Kui. Can you imagine the humiliation? All that hard work, his good heart, his giving soul. He had compassion and empathy. What did he do after this? Did he attack? Did he destroy them? No, he didn't. He did not. He was so ashamed of himself that he went to the imperial wall, the imperial gate. Some say a pillar, and kept slamming his head till he broke his skull. He killed himself. He immolated himself. And he ends up going to the underworld. He ends up going to the king of the dead, Yang Wang. And the king of the dead has said that you died a wrongful death. It was due to discrimination. They didn't look at his heart. They looked at, they judged a book by its cover. And that the king of the dead said, where can I put you? And he says, I would like to be the king of ghosts. I would like to be able to, control evil spirits, to be able to do that. And the king said, the king of the dead goes, well, this is not any of your concern nor your business. And he says, do you have anyone under your employ that have my mind, my wit, and my heart? Are they able to do what I know I can do. And the king of the dead thought about it and then said, you know what? I could use you. And he basically knighted him king of ghosts. But the story doesn't end there. The story could just end there and just say, well, he's king of the ghosts. No, but he makes appearances. He does. And his best friend that went with him to take the test. I'm trying to remember his name. I think it was D. And no, sorry, not D. Du Ping. Ping. Du. D-U, not D. Du Ping. Traveled with him. And he takes him home for a burial. But all the ministers felt bad. They were aghast about how they treated him. And they kind of felt ashamed of themselves. Now Yan Wang gives him the title of King of the Ghosts. So anyways, the title is he goes into how he becomes an artist is that the emperor, there was once an emperor during that time, had a dream of these ghosts tormenting him in his sleep. And they were tormenting his concubine, stealing her purse and taking things off him. Then there was a big ghost. And this ghost was scary, big, unruly hair, square face, eyes bulging. And he basically destroys these ghosts. And he introduced himself and said, my name is Zhong Kui. And I am the Ghost King. I will protect you. I will protect your palace. And I will protect the land, and I will protect the people. And that was Li, the emperor was Li Longyi. Li Longyi, the emperor. And upon his awakening, he contacts a painter named Wo Daozi. Well, yeah, it was Wo Daozi. And he's a painter. And he was commissioned by the emperor, and the emperor told him about the dream. And he was thinking, how can I do this? But he was very talented. And then, guess who comes in his dream? Zhong Kui. And upon awakening, because he was trying to really draw and paint this, and he just couldn't figure it out. But then he went to the emperor after the dream and said, hey, I had a dream of this guy who was huge and had a square face, unruly big beard and unruly hair. And he described it to the emperor, and the emperor's mouth pretty much hung to the floor. And he was like, yeah, that's him. So how should I draw this? And it has to be drawn, painted just right. So the painting was to describe a human, a ghost, and a god, all in one. And when he painted this, he showed the emperor, and the emperor said, yes, that's it, that's what I saw. So he was so eventually these paintings became copied for people to put in their homes. So the emperor had Zhong Kui's spirit not to live inside so much, but as to stay outside and to quell the evil spirits. Now, there is a festival where Zhong Kui and the traditional dance of Zhong Kui show him with 5 ghosts of him conquering 5 ghosts. And it takes about 25 minutes, and it's very elaborate, and it shows him, you see right here, he has a weapon. And when he's swooping down, when he has that weapon pointing down, it means he could be sharpening his axe, but also getting the spirits underneath, and even underneath, your bed, and underneath the earth itself. He's the one that he's an exorcist, and he is the destroyer of negative energy. He drags them to where they need to be. He will drag them kicking and screaming. He'll drag them by the hair, by their ghostly hair. So of course, and during the during one part towards the end, and it's amazing, it's like the dancer or Zhong Kui will put like a firework in her mouth and light it, and all these, it's connected to like a wooden stick, but this person's very trained, so don't try this at home, kids. No, seriously, don't try this unless this person is trained, and he shoots off this huge like it's like as if he's breathing fire, because Zhong Kui can do that. It's like he can literally use the power of fire, like Godzilla. So, and it's a trained dancer to do the Zhong Kui. So it takes about 25 minutes to complete. And Zhong Kui has two main attendants. One's name is Fuku, Fuqu, which this minister Fuku means readdressing wrong cases, and his other minister is Wang Yuan, which translates as crying out for justice. Now, Zhong Kui, instead of being hateful spirit and getting revenge on everyone who wronged him and his compassion, even after a wrongful death, and through ignorance and discrimination, he becomes the compassionate spirit to free homes and the land and people of evil negativity. He fights, and he's a god of justice. So how can Zhong Kui help you? He can help you by so if you've been wronged, he has an attendance of readdressing wrong cases. If you have an injustice done against you, he has an attendant crying out for justice. And anyone who is trying to hurt you with the evil eye, doing spells, having spirits and ghosts, you can call Zhong Kui. And I had a painting at one time. I don't have it anymore. I need a new one, a Zhong Kui, and I'm going to get one. And I'm going to keep, because you get the paper and you venerate it and you put it, and you can just print it off the internet if you want. But it's always good to have someone who has artfully done it. I mean, you can get mass produced, but you put it facing your door, and what happens if you have 2 doors? Well, use it for the main entrance, or you can have one at each door. So, well, what happens if if you're just a roommate? You're not allowed to hang up things, and you hang it. So you hang it on your wall facing your door. So if it's what ifs, there's always a solution to the what ifs. So don't worry about the what ifs. That's just your mind working against you. What if? What if? What if? What if it's a skiff? What if it was a skiff? We'd all have a boat. So Zhong Kui will find a solution. Zhong Kui is very scary to look at, but he has a good heart and good intentions. But when it comes to the evil spirits, he is scary. When it comes to wandering ghosts that want to torment, he is scary. So, but he also has. There's once was a story of this man who was wronged, and I believe he committed suicide, and he was tormenting the town. He was tormenting the people, and the people cried out, and they called out for the spirit of Zhong Kui, and Zhong Kui comes and he says, "What can I do for you?" And they said, "We have a ghost that's tormenting us." So Zhong Kui comes to the ghost, and he says to the ghost, "Why are you doing this?" And the ghost explained about how he was, treated with injustice, and he just can't move on. So what did Zhong Kui do? Did he vanquish him? No, he had compassion. And he helped this spirit to move on, this ghost to become a spirit. So it's no longer an angry, hungry ghost. It's no longer a tormenting ghost, tormenting people. And Zhong Kui also freed the people because he had compassion to even the people that were mean to this person. He had compassion for the good of all. So Zhong Kui does things justice for the common good and the good of all. The good, the personal good and the common good of all. Zhong Kui is an exorcist. So Zhong Kui will help in any type of removing. So whether it's just blessing something so it wouldn't have any phantasms attached to it, or a house blessing, or blessing your place and to protect you. So what happened to him? Did he get his title back? Well, the emperor, remember I told you about the first emperor where he immolated himself. Well, one of the emperors gave him the title back. Said, "Listen, we're going to give him the title posthumously of Zhuang Yuan." And now he was basically given to him posthumously, and he was given a better burial. He was given a better burial than what he was originally. So he now has the title of Zhang Yuan. The title that was stripped from him was given back. And Zhong Kui was happy for that. So there's also another story about how he repaid his friend, who was always, come on man, good to him. Who was always good to him, is that he comes back to his friend, Du Ping. He repaid his friend for the honor, the friendship, the care that he had shown to him, even posthumously. So Liu Ping, his sister, Zhong Kui's sister, was crying so hard after her death. She was so depressed. she was heartbroken because she loved her brother, and her brother was good. He was a good man that was just dishonored for no reason other than his looks. So his sister was beautiful, and he asked Du Ping, sorry, to basically, he gave his sister to Du Ping as his wife. So he united his family with Du Ping. So I know in China they also have him as Shoki. So it's a little bit different about his death. So Shoki. But in either countries, even in Taiwan, he is one of the deities that are painted even on the doors. They even put it on the doors. You can put it on your door or facing the door. So people even put it on their door of temples, homes, and businesses, and so shops, everything, to protect. So you can paint it on your, you can have it on your door. You can have it facing your door, and these images are meant to frighten evil spirits and to give warning to those who wish to do evil. So Zhong Kui is a powerful warrior, and he has great powers, supernatural powers, posthumously, and he's very intelligent. I mean, this guy is basically the Albert Einstein, the Stephen Hawking of his time, the Bill Nye, the Neil deGrasse Tyson of his time. Dr. Michio Kaku. He is. This guy was. So he's got intelligence beyond imagination. He has warrior prowess. He has knowledge. He has wisdom. Now he has great powers, and he controls 80,000 demons. So yes, there are different layers of the underworld in China, and some of them are not so nice. And yeah, so he can control. There are different types of ghosts, and depending on what you've done, and some ghosts are doomed to eat poop, to feed off poop, manure. Others are to eat vomit. So some of them will feed off negative energy, whatever. So these are just like the hungry ghosts that have not moved on. Now Zhong Kui can also give you good fortune, not just exorcism, but he's also a god of good luck and good fortune. And so good luck, good fortune, good tidings, justice. And whether it's an image or a painting is good to have around, because he brings good juju, okay? When you call him, he can change the energy. He can soften your aura. He can remove blockages. He can clear out the energy to get it to move again. Anything that's stagnant, he can take care of. And he has great wisdom to impart to people. So he can give you good advice on what to do. And he does have a good heart. But he is also a powerful warrior, and just remember that. Is he approachable? Of course he is. But remember, he can conquer your enemies and vanquish your foes' intentions. So he will protect humans. He will protect property. He will protect the land. He can protect people. He will protect your pets. He will help you to say, hey, to evolve. You can learn from him to overcome the injustices. But also, he can teach you not to judge a book by its cover, to really read the words. Because you never know, a plain covered book can be one of the most interesting books you read. And maybe even become your best book. He is a friend to the good. He is a friend to the helpless. He is a friend to those who have been wronged. So if you have been wronged through injustice, or if you have been discriminated because of your hair or your eyes or your looks, maybe because you're too thin, maybe because you're very overweight, or maybe because you are old, or maybe because you're crippled, or maybe because you use a cane or a walker or a wheelchair. Maybe you discriminate because maybe you lost a leg for whatever reason, or maybe because you're deaf, or because you're mute, or you're blind. Maybe because you have Down syndrome, or that maybe you're a prodigy and they consider, the kids your age or people your age consider you like freaky or socially awkward. So then you get treated horribly because you're different. Maybe you're too white, maybe you're too black, maybe you're too brown. Whatever, people who judge you, they don't judge you by what's in your mind and in your heart. They judge by what they see. So Zhong Kui, you call up to Zhong Kui, say, please help me. Please help me overcome these difficulties. Sometimes when you're disabled, you're seen as invisible. So there was one time when I had to use a walker after knee surgery, and with the walker, it was like I had a magic power. I was invisible. People banged me with their carts and everything. It was horrible. Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, that's very nice. And I said, of course you didn't see me. I got this magic power called the walker. Of course you didn't see me. I mean, I don't use a walker now, but... And that was many, many years ago. But, yeah. Sometimes when you get old, you're disabled, you're invisible, or you're a freak, or you're different. And some people who are like kids who have cancer, then they get picked on. Ha, you're bald. Ha, you have cancer. I mean, it's horrible. So Zhong Kui is the one to call to. When you feel marginalized, you feel left out, you always felt like you were outside looking in. If you are different, maybe you're discriminated because you're LGBTQ. Maybe you're discriminated because you dress differently. So again, discrimination is discrimination. He can help you with that. Zhong Kui has a very forgiving spirit, a very understanding. Zhong Kui still retains his brilliance and has become more powerful in death than he was in life. So Zhong Kui also deals with the bat, like these 5 bats of fortune. And so his animals, of course, are like bats and bats, of course, I like that. It's very gothic, but it's also considered good luck. He is a spirit. If you're having a run of bad luck, Zhong Kui can help you with that against misfortunes. So he can help someone that is being oppressed by demonic entities, better lack of better words, negative energies, or being possessed, or having their home or an item being a conduit for something. He's also good for closing portals. So he is a god to actually use if you're doing mediumship. He can help you. So now, if he's also, if you have Netflix, there, or you can rent this movie or buy this movie. It's a trilogy made in Taiwan called The Rope Curse. Rope Curse Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. You'll learn about there's some things about hungry ghosts, and also about Zhong Kui is in it. So they do this, show this person who, people who do these who trained for so many years to do this certain martial arts, because this dance is used with martial arts skill and everything. I mean, it's just amazing. It's very beautiful. The garments are very beautiful. I mean, it's just amazing and spectacular. So let's go on a little bit about the King Ming, the tomb sweeping, which is going to happen around April 4th of 2025. Now, this is when people will go to the tombs of their ancestors, and they wash the tombs, their graves, right? They pick up any dirt or debris that's there, and then they lay flowers. And what they do is burn joss sticks. And they have like paper. Now they can't burn paper money because they used to burn the money. So what they do is they make paper money and they burn it, lots of it, and they have these images made of paper. And it could be a car, or if it, depends how much money you have. You can buy these elaborate things made of paper and you burn it. So you send it to your ancestors or your family members or who have died, and you give it to them. So it's like you can even get like pictures of magazines and or artfully draw like a car that they like. So maybe they like the Lamborghini, they like the elaborate houses, maybe they like Victorians or mansions and stuff. What they do is they burn it and send it out so that the spirits on the other side would have it, and they would leave offerings of food and stuff. And this was a time to go to the cemetery, the graveyards, or the tomb, and to pray and ask and you can also ask your ancestors, for advice and blessings, and to remember them, to honor them. Now, Hungry Ghost Month, that's a little bit different. This was a time of really scary, and there's the things of to do and not to do during Hungry Ghost Month. Now, it's up to you if you believe in it, in these things and practices. And of course, it's always to be respectful of people's culture. So if you're going to Chinatown during, especially the 18th, there's some things that you should not do, and it's out of respect too. And there's some lay people who don't know how to get rid of energies, and you don't want to bring it in. So there were some things that the traditions that they would not do. One of the things is, during Hungry Ghost Month, never hang your laundry out to dry at night. Don't do it at night. Why? Because ghosts can get into the clothes, and then you bring it into your home. Umbrellas, do not open umbrella in the home, especially red ones. And this is done by exorcists with a red umbrella successfully trapping ghosts. And what can happen is you accidentally trap a ghost and then you open it in your home and now you let it in. So you invite things that you shouldn't. You shouldn't whistle at night because you're going to attract hungry ghosts. And these are hungry ghosts, so they're hungry. And another thing is someone taps you on the shoulder. Don't turn around. Also, it's also believed that someone calls your name, like, "Hey, Margaret," and you're like, "Huh?" And no one's there. That means the ghost knows that you know. Oh, she can hear me. This person's going to pay attention to me. Let me attach myself to them. Don't stay out late at night especially out by yourself. Another thing is when you observing Hungry Ghost Month with people, traditionally you should not lean against like outside walls because ghosts are said to lay against the walls, and that you can lean against a ghost and attract it. So another thing during Hungry Ghost Month, like during an opera or at the even a movie theater, the front row seats is always reserved for the spirits, the ghosts. You should not sit in the front row seat because you might offend one of these ghosts and they may get very angry at you for offending them. What else? I'm trying to think what else you should not do. So I know the Hungry Ghost Month Festival, the major festival, is going to be the 18th of this year. So it runs on the lunar month. It's the 15th day of the 7th lunar month is Hungry Ghost Month, which started August 4th of this year, 2024, to September 2nd. That's how long it's going to run. It's not just like one day. So the Hungry Ghost Month is also a festival in Buddhism, in Taoism, and it's the 15th night of the 7th month. It's sometimes it's the 14th night of the 7th month. So that means it actually started officially August 3rd. But a lot of places say August 4th. So you can. Another thing is that some people do is they cut some fruit or some food and they leave a plate and they say, "Here's your food. Here's the portion for you. Now I'm giving this to you. You enjoy it and you leave my family alone. You leave my home alone," so that the ghosts will eat that. So it's like spooky season. Ghosts and goblins. But ghosts and goblins, beware of this one. So if you got a medium in your home, or if you're a medium and you don't know, and some people don't know that they're mediums, they can attract spirits, especially children. And like I said, when you don't know you're a medium and you're playing games with, especially a Ouija board, you're opening yourself up to things that you should not be opening yourself until you know how to control things. You shouldn't play with spiritualism if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're a medium. And if you think this is a fucking game, it's more around of fuck around and find out. You know? So there's some things that you can end up opening yourself to that you don't want to open, that you're not ready to deal with. Or you're not able to deal with. And even if you messed around and found out, you can ask Zhong Kui, "Listen, I did something stupid. I'm really sorry. Can you please help me? Can you help my family? Have mercy on me." And he will do it. So he will help you. And even if you wrong someone in life and they're tormenting you in death, and tormenting your family, you can ask Zhong Kui and you can tell him, listen, I need help. My family needs help. So he can defend you against curses. So some of the things that you can offer is just even incense. Now, other things that you can give him, and these are not always traditional, is some people give him, this needs to stop, Loki. I hear hissing. Loki, come and play. Joker, Loki, cut the crap. So, things to give them is joss sticks, incense. You know, you can burn some incense, give them some rice, even white rice. You can give him fruits. You can give him vegetables. I never tried thinking about giving him dumplings or anything. I'm sure you can give him traditional Chinese food and candies. You can't go wrong with sweets and candies and chocolates for him. I give, depending on the days, if they only eat white things, I would just give them white chocolate, which is not really chocolate at all. It's just a trademark name to sell this white candy and call it white chocolate. It's not real chocolate. But you can give them white chocolate. You could give them milk chocolate, dark chocolate, of dried fruits. So put his image out. Spread the word about Zhong Kui. Give him fortune cookies. Even though fortune cookies was originally made by a Japanese and then adopted by Chinese. It's sort of like, the band Coven originally did this, but then Dio took over and made it like, instead of Ozzy's peace sign, he was like, and now at metal concerts we do this. And this is actually, Christian's like, look, it's 666. Oh my God, it's the devil's horns. Actually, it represents, one of the things that this represents, one of the things is to break the evil eye. Well, Dio says, I'm just like, he's fucking around people. I curse, this means I curse you and you're gonna die and go to hell. You're gonna die in hell. No, but it also represents the horn god. And another thing is, when you do your mala, okay, you hold the mala like this. So you'll see like the Hindu deities when they hold a mala, whether it's Brahma or Sarasvati, you see them holding it like this. And they'll move the bead and they hold it with these two fingers. So this represents like getting rid of the evil, getting rid of the bad luck. If someone's giving you that evil eye, you do this. So it also represents the horn god, but nothing to do with ho 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 Satan. But now it's like hell Satan. People do that, and that was actually taught by Dio's grandmother, Ronnie. And Dio wasn't his last name. He changed it to, because this mobster guy was Johnny Dio, so he said, I'm going to be Ronnie Dio, and he did this. I'm sorry I got off the subject, but this actually is an action to no evil spirit, no evil, you will not come near me. So, when you want to cleanse an area, when you want to bless an area, you can use them to consecrate an area. You can use this to help dedicate this area. You can use it you can use a protective measure around your home, around your car. Ask him to travel with you, to protect you from mishaps and any evil that wants you to get into an accident. People would take a bead, right? So travelers and traveling merchants would carry his image and the bead. And this was to protect them from misfortune. And they believed also to help protect them from bad dealings and bad people. So they actually still sell beads of him. of his face. But you see here, he's in his warrior position, and he's actively protecting. So you can seek refuge in Zhong Kui. He is a savior. He is a savior. And he can help you to do right actions, to change your behavior, to change your character. If you want to. Zhong Kui can help you. And you see how I put these dragons, the altar cloth? I didn't know which altar cloth to take, so I just grabbed this. This is perfect. I was gonna go dig for this altar cloth, but this is perfect, and I put it on my new. I can still use the other things sometimes, but the cat's really taken a liking to this. So Zhong Kui can be an ally to you, your friends, your family, your group. He can be an ally and defend you. So I hope I introduced you to something new, and I hope you learned some more if you knew about Zhong Kui. And if you know about Zhong Kui, I hope I did great honor and respect. And I want to do it as respectful as I can, and pronounce things as best as I can. So anyways, thank you so much. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Share my video with your friends and family and your internet handle. And the way you can pay me is give me that like and give me that subscription, so that my channel will grow and that the algorithms will change, and this can go out to everybody. So also think about time now to, if you were going to give me money, and I love money, but I don't do this for money. I do this for the love of teaching, the love of deity, the love of spirit. So now it is a time to do good for someone. You know, give that stranger $1 to buy something. Maybe give that stranger outside a bottle of cold water that hasn't been opened, or just a little kindness. Take that money you would give to me and give to a charity. So Zhong Kui, and he is truly about social justice. I mean, that's what he does. Real social justice. So he's a scary looking guy and fierce, but he's good. But remember, he can control the ghosts, and he is powerful spirit to reckon with. So anyways, thank you so much. You are legends if you listened to me so far. Thank you very much. And as always, blessed be.